Hey, welcome Next Fest viewers. We are Exceptional Games. This is Knockout 2 Wrath of the Karen. I'm Ben. This is Tyler. I'm a student of DigiPen. I'm an animator. And Tyler?
Yeah, I am a graduate from Eastern Washington University, and I am a software engineer. I've programmed basically the entire game here. So, yeah,
Absolutely.
we're Exceptional Games. So, this is our character Scam Brawler. In case any of you have been scam called before by people, this is for you, basically, and for us, because we used to get scam calls all the damn time.
Yeah. And so we just made a character off of that. He's the first character in the game. He's kind of a pushover, but as you go through the game, we've got a few tricks up his sleeve to make him more interesting.
So, a notorious call center has been scamming grandmas across the nation. Your first mission as an FBI agent is to provide assistance and eliminate the Karen threat. Just don't get rung yourself. So, in this game, Knockout 2 Wrath of the Karen, everybody is identified by the FBI, which in our game is known as the Federal Boxing Investigations Agency. So, instead of taking down normal criminals, you're taking down people who are Karens. And so the first opponent in the game you can see here is Scam Brawler, the Mumbai Menace. He wears a fake mustache. Don't let him fool you. So if we just start this fight, you can see, if you've ever played Punch-Out before, then you know kind of what this is going to be, basically. This is going to be your Glass Joe in our game, somebody who's more or less just here to teach you some of the basic mechanics of the game.
And the controls are nice and simple, too. If you've played Punch-Out, you can still use the NES A and B style holding up the jab. But really, if Tyler holds up his controller, you can see him using the shoulder buttons for top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right punches. And you have to open up your opponent with those different punches in order for you to do any type of damage. So you knocked him down once. If the character cannot get up over the count of 10, then you win. Also, you can notice in the top right corner, the red pip lit up for that first knockdown. If Tyler is able to knock him down 3 times in one round, then he also wins by technical knockout. So you notice Tyler is punching to one side right now, and the character is blocking. This is telling you that you have to punch from the left and the right on this particular character in order to open him up. And he's down. If Tyler had lost any health, punching those numbers gets you a little bit of that health back.
It's kind of like a secret little mechanic. We don't ever actually teach you that one in the game.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you're interested in the game loop, what really differentiates this from other games of its type is you notice as Tyler punches that blue meter, his stamina is going down. Well, if you run out of stamina, then you have to be able to successfully block in order to come back, or live long enough for that meter to return to you. However, if you use your special on the Y button and you successfully land that punch, you get all of your stamina back. So there's a loop here. You punch, you gain your special, you throw it, you get all of your stamina back to do that again.
So this is the intermediate, or the intermissions between rounds in our game. So basically the opponent just kind of taunts you, and then you have that little ghost down there who's known as the Renegade. He gives you tips throughout the game if you take the time to actually read them. So as you noticed, when I punched to the same side, he blocked eventually. Well, the Renegade tells us that if we get blocked on one side, then we can try punching through on the other side.
We have a guest.
Howdy.
Hi, Austin.
Hi, everybody.
Austin is running our Instagram.
Say hi.
Hi. Get out. Alright, so that's one knockdown for this. Oh, it worked out as a knockout.
He couldn't get back up because we'd already knocked him down a few times from that.
For the speedrunners out there, we clock you both on the round time and the real time. This is a massive upgrade from how the first game started out. I believe you also ported that into the first game.
Yeah. We ended up implementing this in the first game as well, and then we liked it so much, and our Discord users liked it so much, we of course had to bring it into the second game as well. So unlike the first game, in this game you actually earn experience as you play the game, and you use that experience to level up. And when you level up, your stats increase a little bit, which for the first round of fights isn't too much of a big deal, but we do have something in plan for the game in the second rounds of fights, which we're calling prestige fights. So the first game had a mechanic called EX fights, but we're kind of replacing that with a more broad system that lets us have even more levers to pull and basically give us, if we have enough fans, more than one prestige fight, unlike the original game, which only had a single EX fight.
Absolutely. Pardon me.
So this is one of the stories of the game. Basically, as you play through the game, you unlock and unravel the mystery of why everybody is turning into a Karen and what you actually are supposed to do about it. So the Renegade is just kind of telling you, call me Renegade if you use Muscoms, but if you haven't noticed, I'm pretty darn dead.
This goes in line with the first game where your coach was also a ghost.
In the first game, he was a ghost known as the Maverick, and he was a caricature of John McCain. I'd like to know if anybody can guess who this character is a caricature of.
He's much more difficult to guess, I'll give you that. And of course we had to bring back Jack and Jill, the news anchors of TKO News. These were the most popular characters in the game, despite the fact that you never actually get to fight them.
They're also the only characters in the game that don't wear boxing gloves.
Yeah. Breaking news. The FBI raided a business in Mumbai, India, where an illegal scam call center was operating. Critics warned this furthers a dangerous trend of extra-legal government intervention since the adoption of boxing to solve all of our problems. And that is the story through line of both games, is people got sick and tired of talking to each other, debating, so everything is boxing and everyone loves it. Absolutely, from the top of the government to the very bottom of society, everyone loves boxing and solves every problem with it. Haters of scam calls immediately challenged said critics to a boxing match and prevailed in a decisive, massive battle royale. In a statement, the FBI revealed this raid was part of their mandate to battle what many are calling Karenism. TKO News will follow this story closely.
Would you like to give Karen a try?
I could, or should I also show them GigaChad? Because the demo has 3 characters, and the middle one is GigaChad.
That's true. So you should probably start with GigaChad next then.
Alright. Karenism is spreading to our agency's only safe space, the gym. A confluence of Karens, which I don't think is the correct term for that, has been recently taking over gyms and community centers.
I think maybe it's supposed to be confluence with a K.
Oh, okay, yeah. We might have to change that. Take out the leader and disperse this perverse gathering. He is sex alpha male.
He's the GigaChad, of course.
Pardon me. GigaChad in this fight starts off blocking everything you can do, and you want to be careful of that stamina. Those flashing gloves mean that the attack is generally unblockable. And then he goes into this special here where I can interrupt that and just try to wail on him. But here's the thing, if you don't interrupt that by some means, then he's going to throw a flashing red, completely unblockable attack. So if you can interrupt him with counter punches, you're going to be able to do damage and open him up. Our players love that knockdown pose.
His butt cheeks are so shiny.
So what I did there is a perfect block. And that's some of the key to playing this at a much higher level. You want to be able to hit him with specials, of course, but you also want to build that special meter, the yellow one. So he's going to punch. Perfect blocks, fill that meter very fast. I can immediately hit him with a special and do quite a bit of damage. Knock down. We had a lot of fun riding this guy.
Most definitely.
And I was corrected many times on the name of these different exercises he's doing to attack you.
So you can see once you get knocked down, there's this little mini game where you actually have to punch in that little green bar. And if you miss the punch, well, you still have a few seconds left to try to get another one. But the bar, every time you get knocked down, gets smaller and smaller. So it gets more and more challenging the more times you get knocked down. Eventually it gets to be a little sliver, and then the glove starts moving faster and faster to make it even harder. But technically, unless you get TKO'd, you can get back up as many times as you can hit those green bars.
So in the intermission here, Renegade is telling you to counter-punch him as he attacks, and so we're going to do that to finish off this fight.
You can see those little speech bubbles there above him as well. And he's doing a different attack in this phase now. Essentially, he has a mechanic called bravado. And as he gains more and more bravado, he gets more confident. And he just kind of lets you wail on him. You notice he's not dealing a lot of damage, and he's actually getting more bravado every time he hits him. And that's because he's just so confident that he's not going to lose. He's like, oh yeah, just keep hitting me. It's not even hurting.
We'll see if I can time a special counter.
If you time a special for a counterattack like he just did, it deals massive damage. And if they don't get knocked down, it almost always going to reward you with a daze. While the character is dazed, he just kind of lets you wail on him, and all characters kind of do that too. That's where the daze right there.
Mm-hmm. And during daze, I can do an awful lot more damage per punch, typically. So there's an awful lot of strategy that you can employ to play this game at a higher level. And once you really understand the fight flows and can counter the characters and play them like a fiddle, well then you're in the top time type of territory there.
This shows out one of the knockout animations here, which you only see once generally per fight, just because we don't want to keep showing it over and over again. But we have an idea to maybe make some kind of library where you can see all of the different cutscenes that you've unlocked in the game.
Mm-hmm. Gain some experience. Got my paycheck.
Some of it.
Some of it. And then the news.
Breaking news. In just a few short weeks, the FBI has skyrocketed from a 51% approval rating to near universal praise. After everything from punching gas prices into submission to battling the always broken ice cream machines at McDonald's, people around the nation are rejoicing over the agency's new direction. One agent even knocked out the guy who added ads to Netflix subscriptions. We can barely keep up.
I'd like to find who that is and put him in the game.
Today, the feds took the first step in removing disingenuous influencers from the gym, YMCA buildings, and town swimming pools. As the agency's containment of Karenism continues, where might they focus next?
At least in the demo, that's this character. You want to show her?
Sure. So, in the base game, Giga Chad is actually the third fight, and Karen is actually the second fight. But we wanted to switch it up for the demo a little bit, and Wrath of the Karen, it feels appropriate that she's the final boss of the demo. So that's what we did, is we changed up her mechanics a little bit, and we made her stronger and faster than she normally is. You can see there, she fills her purse with bricks. A confusingly named middle-aged woman is terrifying the area. Keeps showing up at the headquarters, demanding to talk to the people in charge. She's been told Illuminati executives are out of office, so please escort her off the premises. Will do.
I believe this is one of the first characters we made for the game.
She is one of the first characters we made for the game, indeed. And you can see just how fast she swings that purse. But because I know how to play the game pretty well, I'm able to counter even these really fast attacks.
As we're speaking right now, the final stage of development here, we're taking the prestige fights after you beat the main fights and go back through like a, what is it called in Punch-Out? It's like a circuit?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're giving her a couple of spicy remixes that I think you're going to have fun with. So there, Tyler did a perfect block as she did that swing, which allowed him to open her up a lot sooner than just dodging and attacking. It is this character's in the main campaign. This character's goal is to teach you how to dodge, which is another mechanic I don't think we've really talked about. Just because we've played the game so much, you know.
Yeah, but I'll start showing off the dodge. I think I have dodged a few times, but there's no harm in showing that because, as you can see, when you dodge her attacks, it gives you a slight opening there to punish her for that.
Now you do have to punch to the correct side after that dodge, or else you will whiff.
We'll show that off now too. And if you dodge to the wrong side, as you see, you also get hit there. So dodging to the correct side and punching to the correct side is incredibly important, especially later on in the game when more and more opponents have their directional attacks here. So you can see we just got another TKO, and that shows the bricks that she had in her purse as well. And you can see when you beat somebody on those stars there above your victory scene, if you want 3 stars, you actually have to beat the opponent on the first round without taking any damage at all. So we only got 2 stars there because I took some damage, even though we still beat her on the first round. Let's go ahead and retry this and see if we can't get 3 stars there.
750 Fed cred. Alright, so now playing this at a much higher level. Opened her up with a counter, punched her, dodged, opened her up again. She's nearly half health. Special counter, which is surprisingly hard to time in this version of the fight. And a first knockdown. I didn't catch the round timer.
You're all horrible people. Why, thank you, Karen.
Oh,
I lost the 3 stars right there. That one miss is all it took. As he said, though, it's quite difficult to time that special counter right there. Oh, she dodged out of the way of my counter.
At this speed, I think you have maybe 3 or 4 frames at 60 FPS to counter it. It's pretty tight.
It is. And I admit I don't fight her on this difficulty very often because this is the demo, and usually we're playing the full game when we're testing.
Alright, dodged, opened her up, did a lot of damage. The other thing he's doing is punching her to make sure that she blocks. That forces her to attack sooner. So if you're going for time, that's one of the tricks you can do to get a lower time.
So you can see just because that one little punch that I took, I did not get 3 stars.
Oh.
But that's alright. Would you like to try?
Sure. Jason is behind the camera. He's going to tell us any questions you have. Please put them in the chat. Let's see if I can get that 3 stars.
Yeah, let's go ahead and start some Q&A questions. So from Discord, Casual Striking Grape asks, why does Knockout 2 have a Karen theme?
Honestly, I think it started with the Scam Brawler.
I think we kind of had this idea from when we were still making Election Year Knockout, actually. We kind of wanted to make fun of the Karen trope a bit, and we kind of needed some other characters. And so, obviously, just a one character in a game, just Karen, isn't going to be very fun. So that's when we kind of started ideating different character ideas and whatnot, and Scam Brawler came out of that, as well as Giga Chad. And then we also kind of not really negative stereotypes, but like the crazy cat lady and the Giga Chad, you know. Though Giga Chad can be a negative stereotype if he's the gym bro, which is kind of the route that we went. Instead of the common stereotype of like a Chad being a really popular, handsome man, we decided to go, no, he's not just a Chad, he's the gym bro Chad.
Oh, yeah.
So, but the idea really just came because we wanted something different than Election Year Knockout. We needed to kind of move ourselves away from the political theme, and we wanted to go with just a general broad theme instead. So you can see just how tough it is to actually get these 3 stars on this fight.
I also think there's a lot of metal between me and my wireless controller here. But I can do it.
Alright, also from Discord, I'll just plug Discord real quick. If you ever want to interact with us after the live stream, please join us on Discord. You can find it on our website or pretty much everywhere you can find the game.
On
There's
the-
usually a link on the Discord.
Yeah, on the title scene of the demo, there's a little Discord button that you can press at the top right of the menu there, and if you click on that, it'll take you right to our Discord where you can join it. We're very active there, and we like to interact with all of the people playing our game and answer all of the questions that they might have.
At most hours of the day, even.
All right, our next question also comes from Discord. Tides asks, the team only worked on word games, so election year knockout was something new. Tell me about how you guys decided on making this ambitious project and a bit of the way through development, such as how research for it went. So this is referring to our first game, election year knockout, and kind of, what made us decide to work on knockout?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was mostly that Ben had a love for Punch-Out games, and he hadn't seen a new Punch-Out game since the Punch-Out for the Wii came out. And so it doesn't seem like Nintendo has any plans on actually making a new Punch-Out game anytime soon. So we decided to take that task into our own hands.
I think we've built something that expands upon and surpasses what has been there. And I say that with love to Punch-Out because it's such a different game than what we've made here. But the cycle of resource management, I'm very proud of that we've done here. It's very fun. It's a fast loop. The first game in the series is even faster. Just we've expanded the amount of time that you can fight the characters in the second game and just really let you have fun. And I finally got that 3 stars.
You did. Good job. You're the secret agent now.
Yeah, election year knockout was originally going to be just a flash game where you
Yeah.
timed your punch to land on Thump or Trump.
Yeah.
Just because the election was coming up and everyone was up in arms on either side. So, that turned into something like a wireframe type thing that we took to GDC in 2019 or 20.
Yeah, I think we took 2 characters because we're equal opportunity comedians over here. We took a version of what we called Bertie Sanders and a version of Donald Thump, and it was incredibly bare bones, but we showed it off to a few people and they were just laughing.
Yeah, and we got some good feedback even from a couple of publishers. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah. All right, the next question also from Discord. Casual Striking Grape asked a second question. Just want to know if your guys' budget got expanded for Knockout 2.
Oh, well, he's referring to how much duct tape we have to keep the code together. Casual Striking Grape in our Discord is probably the most prolific bug finder we have, and man, are we grateful for it. But at the same time, we come into work every day going, oh no, what has he found? Oh no. and it's great. We have a lot more duct tape, but there's a lot more stuff to duct tape, so you tell us.
So please put any other questions you guys have into either Discord, Steam, or YouTube, wherever you're watching, and we'll try and get them answered. Had some other questions.
Mhm.
What are some of the biggest changes between Election Year Knockout and Knockout 2?
I'd say mostly how we're dealing with the roster. We're really expanding what's possible in these fights. They're much larger fights with more phases, much to the chagrin of all of us when we have this great idea of, hey, what if there's like 5 different characters you have to fight at the same time? And then we actually have to go and make 5 different characters to fight at the same time. So the spectacle's much expanded. I think as you get into the harder characters, you'll really see some stuff you never expected, especially compared to the first game.
There's also a lot of There's also a lot of technical improvements in this game as well from the first one. So we're using a completely different game engine, so we had to rewrite all of the code from the first game into this new game engine as well. But some of the technical improvements as well as the character customization is greatly expanded upon from the first game because people really liked that.
Mm-hmm.
And we also, as he mentioned, increased the time of the rounds. Not only that, but the time of the rounds can be modified inside of the fights and outside of the fights as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot more levers that we can pull in this one.
And maybe offering them as custom missions? We haven't really talked much about that.
We haven't. But it is something that is in the new game, yes.
Mm-hmm. It's not in the demo though, so be on the lookout for a feature like that.
We did have to leave some stuff for you to find in the full game.
Mm-hmm.
From YouTube, Gamerboy Wowzers asks, what is the purpose of leveling up in the game?
Wowzers. So you will actually increase your damage, your health, and all the other good stuff. But then, as you're leveling up, you're also gaining your paycheck and Fed cred. We plan for you to be able to customize your character to trade off different values. Do you want to hit harder? Well, maybe you take a little bit of hit to your health. Do you want to tank a fight? Do you want to go for time? All that customization is tied to your leveling. In addition to the prestige system in the game, where after you beat all the characters, you get to go through them again with some differences, they're much tougher to beat. They're not just higher health and higher damage to you, they're also higher in difficulty, and so you will want to spec your character accordingly. That's a good question. Wowzers.
Yeah, if anyone has any other questions, please type them into wherever you're watching it, whether it be YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
Steam, or if you're on Discord, you can type them in there. We'll be sure to get to them. And some other questions. How many fights will be in the final game? And will there be any EX fights in this version of the game?
How much do you want to reveal?
Well, there's 8 characters in the full game. However, there's not going to be EX fights in this game. We are replacing the EX system with the prestige system, though there's always the possibility that our plans change. But right now we don't have any plans to make EX fights in this one.
And to that end, they operate very similarly to EX fights from the first game, whereas those fights we did a very specific plan for, a new look for the character, a couple different attacks. The prestige system is all of that, but condensed in the first character. We did that for a couple of reasons. We certainly don't have as many artists as we'd like in order to have, massive visual changes to the characters. So what we want to do is focus all of our development efforts on the fun. How many different ways can you fight a character? And that's what the prestige system allows.
I just cannot get 3 stars on GigaChat, apparently.
We've got a few more minutes if anyone has any questions. My next question is, how are the fights replayable outside of the prestige system?
Well, once again, how much do you want to reveal?
Well, we did already mention the mission system, and that's kind of our plan to make these fights more and more replayable. So you can complete these missions in order to gain extra Fed creds as well as extra experience as you fight them. So there's basically a daily mission, or more than one daily mission, but there's at least one daily mission that you get every single day. There's some weekly missions that you can complete and some monthly missions as well. Mm-hmm. And these missions are procedurally generated by changing around those modifiers that we talked about earlier.
One of the things we saw the Discord community doing with the first game was challenging each other to these sort of impromptu custom challenges. Making up some rules and trying to see who could get the best time on that. And so we built that directly into the game this time. We think you'll have a lot of fun setting up your friends to fail.
Next question. What did you enjoy most about developing Knockout 2? Is there anything that stood out as something you really enjoyed in the development process?
Well, frankly, this is a dream job anytime I get to let other people have fun. But specific to this game, the challenge has been the writing. Because I'll admit, the first game we were kind of just joking the entire time. That's all we're doing, non-stop 100%, is just riffing on stuff with no necessary plan. And the second game doesn't require you to have played the first game in order to understand some secret of the lore or anything, but now that it's in there, I had to go back and say, oh, why did I make that?
Yeah, I think one of my favorite parts of making this game was I'm a big fan of RPGs and stuff like that, so I really enjoyed designing a level system and kind of implementing these different modifiers and systems like equipable items that give you different stat bonuses and stuff like that into this game, and really turning the knob on what the original Punch-Out formula was, because I think this is now far deviated from what the original Punch-Out was, especially compared to even our first game, Election Year Knockout, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So would you say that your favorite part was sort of expanding on what was there?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Because you're the systems guy.
I like making systems.
All right, final call for any questions. Just type them in. We'll be sure to answer them. Next question. What's your favorite fight in the new game? Knockout 2.
Ooh, I have to say, the Heralds. The Heralds, you can see them in the game's instruction manual if you go to our website, or I think that's even linked off of the Steam page right now. You fight two characters at the same time. It was hell for us to try to program and try to make the art for, but man, did it turn out fun. Because they surprise you. Everything that you've learned about how to play this game gets thrown out the window when you fight them, and I think it's the most fun I've had playing our own game. What about yours?
I don't think I can really talk too much about my favorite character because it's the final boss in the game, and we don't want to spoil anything too much.
Mhm.
But I will just say the final boss in Knockout 2 is my favorite character. I had a ton of fun designing it, and I had a ton of fun implementing it and adding extra systems just to really make that final fight feel like a final fight.
It is the most animation we've ever done on a character is in that final boss.
Okay. All right, when we were developing the game, we were spitballing a lot of ideas for different fights, and a lot of them didn't make it into Knockout 2. But if there was one idea of a fun fight that didn't make it into the game, are there any that stick out to you that maybe we didn't make it in, might make it in the future, might never make it in?
Oh yeah, we had a lot of drawings for a car salesman, like a used car salesman, and every time I go into a car dealership, I'm always on guard, and I don't always have to be. I've been treated well, but the stigma's there. They have so many ways to trap you, and some of them do. So I always wanted to write a character that did that. So far, none of the characters in the game are quite to that level of like actual evil.
I think mine would have been the idea that we had. He never really made it beyond some concept line art, but a LARPer, somebody who's like the big neckbeard guy who just is hitting you with his foam swords, or maybe they're even real swords. Who knows? But that's kind of been my favorite characters that we didn't end up getting to implement in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's all we have for questions. And we'll wrap up today's stream, but we're going to be streaming tomorrow. If you have any new questions, go on, meet us on Discord, put them in there. We'll be sure to answer your questions tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll be here at 4 p.m. tomorrow, Pacific Standard Time, if you want to join us then.
Oh, it's 5 p.m. tomorrow. Okay.
Oh,
We'll have the schedule on the stream. We'll have a 20-minute loop playing in between, and you'll be able to see our exact schedule there. All right. Thank you so much for watching. We're Exceptional Games. Please download the demo and play it right now. We need all the help you can give us to get us to the top of the Steam Next Fest, because I think we've got the best thing here.
and if you really like the game, please give it a wish list as well.
Yeah, we need the wish list. All right. I'm going to turn off the mic. I'm going to stop the stream, and thank you so much for watching.